Anjana Chakshurulmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Kanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat prapatamam vande Shri Guru Din Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chadanamishwaram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jai Pataka Swami Nitanamini Namacharya Hinataya Kripa Pradayini Gaurakatadam Dayana Gargamata. Hare Krishna everybody. One minute, I'll just share the screen. So first of all, wishing you all happy Balram Jayanti. So I think I'm very fortunate, thanks to Swami Raghunath Prabhu, to give me opportunity to speak on the auspicious topic of Srimad Bhagavatam on such auspicious day of appearance day of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Balram. So hopefully, if time permits, then maybe we'll discuss a bit about Lord Balram towards the end. Once we cover this chapter. So today's chapter is chapter 32. Canto, sorry, I written Canto 2. It's Canto 3. So entanglement in the fruitive activities. So 1 minute. I am not able to. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, bro. We are able to see the recap.
Okay, recap, no? Okay. Okay. So we are going through a very important section of Srimad Bhagavatam, where the teachings of Lord Kapila, and this is one of the very, very important section of Srimad Bhagavatam, because here the Lord Kapila, who is the expansion of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, and Lord himself is glorifying the bhakti, the devotional service. And Lord Kapila has explained many aspects of various other paths of spiritual progress. So we saw in chapter 29, Lord Kapila in detail has glorified bhakti, and various kind of bhakti done in a mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. This is something which is very when I read, I still remember when I read this section very first time, I was a little bit surprised, because from when we join Krishna consciousness, the first thing we learn is that bhakti is above the modes of material nature. But we forget to understand that, that's a Shuddha bhakti, that's a pure bhakti. So only after this, I remember once in temple Srimad Bhagavatam, class, I had covered this three types of bhakti, and a couple of devotees came and they told Prabhu, we didn't know that bhakti is also in different modes of material nature. And I told that I also didn't know this, and only when we read this section of Lord Kapila's teachings, we come to know this. So chapter 29 was very interesting chapter. And then we read various types of obstacles we face in bhakti, and how a devotee make progression of bhakti, a normal neophyte bhakta to a pure devotee. In chapter 30, Lord Kapila explains in details the effect of time on the materialistic people, because how the whole life of a materialistic person goes, and in just the activities of material activities, and ultimately a person, a living entity who with so much of difficulty gets this material form of human form of life, the whole this thing gets lost. The wonderful opportunity is getting, just in being in materialistic activities, it gets lost. So so we understand in this section that how a person at the end meets death, and because of the attachments, various attachment and sinful activities, not just suffer in this material world, also suffer in various hellish planets. And we had seen some of the horrible you know punishments which a living entity has to go through, and ultimately the living entity go into the lower species of life, which is a loss for all of us, because we, with very much difficulty, we have got this human form of life. So that is one in chapter 30 and 31. Last week we saw how the jiva grows within the womb of the mother, various stages. A jiva goes through the sufferings in the womb of the mother, and how jiva offers prayers in the womb of the mother, that to for seeking for the mercy of the Lord, but unfortunately, as soon as the living entity comes out of the womb of mother, he gets into the bad association and materialistic activities, and specifically the attraction to opposite sex, and without the understanding of uh, birth and death, continues this cycle of suffering, cycle of birth and death. So now, in this chapter, now further, Lord Kapila is explaining the entanglement in the, fruitive activities. So this chapter almost is, now we are moving towards the end of Lord Kapila's teachings. I think next chapter has, I doubt it has any teachings. It has just some of the final conclusion, but so in real sense, this chapter is explaining that what is the destination of various people who are using various spiritual paths, and how bhakti can lead us to the ultimate destination of going back to Godhead, Golok Vrindavan. So in this chapter, Lord Kapila, as a conclusive thing, he want to establish bhakti over the other path. But in this chapter, another unique thing is that Lord Kapila is trying to compare the destination achieved by the various different people when they are following different paths, and how it is compared to bhakti. So not very much direct glorification of bhakti, but it is compared with the other parts of bhakti in this chapter. So so first section of this chapter talks about that destination of attached workers. Attached workers in the sense sakama karmis. So what do attached worker means is that sakama karmis, they they follow the religious path. So it is not that they are not religious. These people are. So we know there are four purusharthas, right? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So ultimate goal of everything, as per our scripture, irrespective of Srimad Bhagavatam or any other scriptures, is ultimately to get the liberation. So, but a person, since he is attached too much to the material enjoyment, he uses these dharma also for the benefit of getting artha and fulfilling the desires. So, getting money, getting opulences, and fulfilling the desire, being too much materially attached. So, Prabhupada talks in I think this is Prabhupada's favorite topic in wherever this um, material desire thing comes. Prabhupada don't leave the opportunity to compare between Grahamedi and Grahasthas. So we use Grahastha term very, loosely, in the sense that we all feel that, we all are Grahasthas. And, being, it's a very commonly used term. But if a person is not utilizing his family life for the progression on the path of bhakti, it is not considered as, grasta. Then it is grahamedhi. Grahamedhi means he is fully engrossed in the material enjoyments. And he is not worried about the salvation. He is not worried about getting out of this cycle of birth and death. So, after explaining this Grahamedi and this thing, Prabhupada always quotes this, punaha punascharvita charvananam. So this material life is something like chewing the chewed one. Again and again, we are chewing the same thing, which it is something like chewing gum, right? I am sure even if we are now, we are not taking, we all have taken this, chewing gum in our childhood. So chewing gum, it's just, in the initial, it looks very sweet, but after some time, we keep on chewing, it becomes very bitter at the end, and we have to throw it. So it is material life. Even if we are using religiosity, we are doing different kind of homas, and we see a lot of specifically people who are doing quite well in their life. So they use this religiosity for their material progress. And Lord Kapila is initial itself in this chapter is criticizing that, and later we'll see. Is it again and again? He's going back to bhakti again. It is coming. He's coming back to sakam karmis, and he's criticizing them. So Lord Kapila is very hard on those people who are using the dharma for their material progress. Actually, we'll see in further shlokas, Lord Kapila is comparing those people, these kind of people, to the pig, hog, who is all just have been, eating stool in spite of, having the other opportunities. Okay. So, Lord Kapila says that such people who worship devatas and pitras with, faith. In this reference, Prabhupada, in the purport, quotes 7.20, where it is mentioned that those whose intelligence is stolen by the material desire surrender unto demigods and follow that particular rules and regulation of worship according to their own nature. So what happens is that we see in most of the Sanatanis, or Hindus, so-called Hindus. So even if they are following most of the people in today's world are not following any religiosity, but those who are following also, their understanding is that they have to go to the various devatas and ask what the material benefits, their material desires should get fulfilled. So whenever we go to temple, our list is there in front of us, that okay, whoever them demigods, or even Lord Krishna or Narayana, when we go, we go with our list of material desires. And, but Prabhupada again, he is, referring to Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, third chapter, 10th shloka, very famous shloka. Kama sarva kamo va moksha kam udharati tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. So even if even if we have any desire, akam sarva kamo, even if we are desireless or we have lot of desires, or if we have moksha desire also, then what we should do? Tivrena bhakti yogena yajita purusham param. To whom we should do that? But we should do tivra bhakti. But tivra bhakti is done to whom? Param Purusha, that is Lord Narayana, Lord Krishna. So our even if we have material desires, Srimad Bhagavatam suggests us that we should worship the Lord Narayana. We should not go to demigods. So we'll see why it is being said in further shlokas, but Prabhupada is writing in purport that a person who has a broader intelligence, whether he's full of material desires without any this is a translation of this law. And desiring liberation must all means worship the supreme whole, the personality of Godhead. So we should be very, very clear that, sometimes devotees, have this doubt that sometimes when they are in trouble or if they have some material desires, can they approach Krishna? Because generally we know that Savapum Samparo Dharmo Yaturu Bhakti Radokshaje Ahetuki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. So we have said, we understand that in the initial stage of our bhakti that, our bhakti should be ahetuki and apratihata. So it should not have any, cause. It should be done without any expectation, ahetuki. So what happens is sometimes devotees undergo very difficulties in their material life. And at that point of time, they are sometimes they have that hesitation to ask from the Lord. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that four kind of people approach me: Arti, Artharthi, Jigyasu and Jnani. So when a person, either Arti means a person who is in distress, Artharthi, somebody who is desiring, having a lot of material wealth, desires for material wealth, Arti, Artharthi, Jigyasu, a person who is interested, and a person who is Jnani, a knowledgeable person, a person who is going with the knowledge. Of course, Krishna says in the next shloka that the most intelligent person is that Jnani, who is going with the full knowledge. But still, whenever we have any material problems, material difficulties in our life, then instead of going to astrologers and instead of going to some tantrics, instead of going to various demigods, an intelligent person, udaradhi, word is used for that, a person who is intelligence, that person, he goes to Lord Krishna and he is, he prays to this thing. Although the highest standard of Shuddha Bhakti is, to do the, unmotivated bhakti, but if in some difficulties we can still approach the Lord, because he is for us the ultimate, object of our love is Krishna. So, although the highest standard is of the bhakti of gopis, they didn't have any, desire, any motivation, unmotivated bhakti they did. But then in Srimad Bhagavatam itself, we have the example of Gajendra, who is approaching Lord in the tough time. We have example of Draupadi. We have example of Kunti. So Kunti is saying in her prayers that, you give us the problems again and again so that we can remember you, because we had your darshan whenever we had difficult times. So devotees see also that as an opportunity, a blessing in disguise, that, whenever any difficult time is there, then we can approach Lord, and try to do Tivra Bhakti, whatever is mentioned like in previous sloka, no? Tivra Bhakti, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. So we can do a Tivra Bhakti, a strong Bhakti we can do to Param Purusha, Supreme Lord Narayana. So in Shloka third, now the destination of these kind of people who are using religiosity for their material progress. So Lord Kapila is saying that as a result, they are elevated to moon and Swargloka, higher planets they go. But the worst part of this is that, they enjoy their lives and come back to earth. So as Srimad Bhagavad Gita says, Shine Punyam Ritya Lokam Vishanti. So what happens to these people? Although they go to Swargaloka, they get the much, much higher benefits, material opulences, what are available on the earthly planet. And they get all that, all those benefits they get, and again the punyas gets over and they come back to this material world. So is it really a good deal? I'm not sure about it. I think we need to do introspection, because in, I don't know, in south it is there, but in north it is very common that, whenever anybody dies, so whenever a letter is written or some information is given, that at that point of time it is written that particular person has become Swargavasi. So Swargavasi means he has gone to Swarga, and it is written with very much proud. इसमें लिखा रहता है, जनरली इन हिंदी लेटर बड़े दुख के साथ सूचित किया जाता है कि हमारे पिताजी माताजी स्वर्गवासी हो गए. So people think that we never had that. People don't have the understanding also that, going to Swargaloka, they think it is the highest thing. But if we read the Amal Purana like Srimad Bhagavatam, then we understand that, it's a bad deal actually, because we are coming back to this Mrityu Loka again. This material world, we come back again. So, and then Lord Kapila is explaining what is the use of going to this Svargaloka. He's saying all the planets which are achieved by after so much doing religiosity, dharma, artha, kama, we have achieved all this by after doing so much pious activities. But what is ultimately, those planets also get destroyed at the end of day of Brahma. So again, our Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Actually, if you see, if you read Prabhupada purports in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada is referring Bhagavatam, and in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada is referring Bhagavad Gita. So much link is there in the, So I was wondering when I was taking out the important points of purports and trying to put in the slide. So I was just thinking that, see how if a person reads Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly, as Prabhupada say, so it has the essence of all the scriptures. That's why it is said that, Bhagavad Gita is ultimately the, essence of all the Vedic scriptures. So if you see the Abrahma Bhunaloka Punaravartino Arjuna Mamopete to Konte Punarjanmana Vidyate 8.16. So even if you go to the highest planet, which is the Brahma, which is the Satyaloka, the place of Brahma, then what happens? Punaravartino Arjuna. You have to again, come back to this material world. But Mamopete tu konte punarjanmana vidyate. So if you achieve me, then we don't have to take birth again. So, it is very important to understand and make people, I don't know, in today's world when material progress have become so much important, the symptoms of Kali Yuga, which are given in the Srimad Bhagavatam in 12th canto, that the people with the who will have the more material progress will be identified as the most intelligent people in this Kali Yuga. That's what we see happening. A person, even if he's a poor person, even if he is giving a very good knowledge, nobody in today's world will accept, because the material progress has become the identification of a person's intelligence. That's very unfortunate, actually. So, so Prabhupada in the purport, he talks about the two kind of pralaya or dissolution. One pralaya which happens at the end of Brahma's day, when Brahma's 1,000 cycles of Chaturyuga gets over. So in that, what happens is that all the planets lower than the Brahma Loka, they get destroyed, and they are again created when the Lord Brahma rises after his night, which is 1,000 cycles of Chaturyuga. Another dissolution of pralaya happens is that when the Brahma, his life ends, at that point of time, including the heavenly planets, which is Brahma Loka, all this thing, they are dissolved and enter into the body of Mahavishnu or Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From there till the next creation happens, all the creation stays there. So we'll see that why Prabhupada is explaining that in next shloka. Um, so those who are, so now in next shloka, Lord Kapila is talking about Nishkama Karma Yogis. So Lord Kapila is saying that those who are intelligent and have their consciousness purified by the process of Krishna consciousness, they are free from modes of material nature, and they will see. Lord Kapila again and again he also talks about some of the good qualities of bhaktas. So they are free from modes of material nature. They do not act for sense gratification. Rather, since they are situated in their own occupational duties, they act as one expected to act. So, what is the goal for the Nishkam Karma Yogis is that they offer all the results of their action to Lord Krishna, and they don't work for their own sense gratification. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, the example is Arjuna. Till Arjuna, in the first chapter, we see, though Arjuna was, when he was giving various reasons not to fight, so he was giving the reasons for his own sense gratification, because he felt that, if I fight, I'm not going to do justice to my kula, and I will go to Naraklokas, and I'll be disrespectful to my guru and my elders, and various reason is this. One Shankara will happen, and our distortion of paramparas will. Various reason he gives. So but after getting the knowledge at the end of Bhagavad Gita, what Arjuna says is Yathechasi Tatha Guru. So I will do whatever you say. So I have all my illusion is gone, and I am now doing it whatever you are doing. So now he's not fighting for his own sense gratification. He's fighting for for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. So Nishkam Karma Yogi is Nisanga, free from the influence of modes of material nature. So that's why a bhakta, a pure devotee we are talking about, he is the above the modes of material nature. He is as Vishuddha Sattva, not even at Sattva, Satoguna. And he is Nayastha Karmana. He indicates the result of their activities are given to whom? Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as a result, what happens is he is Prashanta, he is completely satisfied, and he is Shuddha Chetasa. He is, pure consciousness. His consciousness is pure. So a person who is executing his occupational duties, acting with the detachment and without a sense of proprietorship and false egoism, one is posted in one's constitutional position by the complete purification of consciousness. And by thus executing so-called material duties, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So Prabhupada talks about Pravati Marg and Nivritti Marg because it is Prabhupada time and again he says that the activities of devotees and non-devotees externally there is no difference. It's the difference of consciousness with what consciousness a person is doing. For example, a grasta who is fixed in Krishna consciousness, he is also taking care of his family. He also goes out and does the work. He also earns. He also, takes care of his family, his parents, children, wife. And, so what is the difference? So Prabhupada is explaining in this purport as Pravriti Marg and Nivritti Marg. So Pravriti Marg is what? Where we are, indulged fully in our own sense gratification. We just want to enjoy the material world. And when a person gets materially, whatever, tired of this material enjoyment, we see this famous conversation between Narad Muni and Daksha. When Narad Muni made the son of Daksha's brahmacharis, Daksha becomes very angry. And, Daksha tells that, what a person should do? A person should enjoy this material life. And as we were seeing, Punas Charvita Charvana Nam. So if by again and again and again and again enjoying in this material life, when a person gets fed up, he will go towards the, he will think about liberation. He will think about, getting out of this material life. And Narad Muni is straightforward. He cuts him short, saying, no, that's not a right way. Because in that, a person loses so much of time. When there is direct process of, achieving the perfection is available, which in Nivritti Marg. Nivritti Marg means you do your duties, as an offering to the Lord. So this full chapter, again and again, Lord Kapila is emphasizing on this point that whatever you do it as a offering to the Lord. So through this, so what happens is for these kind of people who are engaged in their, who are Shuddha Chetasa, who are pure consciousness, what happens to that? They go to the, spiritual world. So they go to the supreme personality of Godhead at the end of their life. Then Lord Kapila talks about Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha worshippers means those are the worshippers of Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha actually means is Hiranya means gold, Garbha means womb. So Hiranyagarbha word is used in Vedic scriptures in various places in different context. So Hiranyagarbha sometimes is used by specifically impersonalist as the source of the whole creation. Those impersonalists who don't believe in the form of Lord, they believe the Hiranyagarbha is the source of all the creation. It's a golden womb. But the worshippers of demigods, they refer Hiranyagarbha as Brahma, and Vaishnavas, they refer as Hiranyagarbha as the supreme person, as an expansion of supreme personality of Godhead, from whom the whole material world is creating. So what happens? But here it is being used as a Brahma worshippers or the yogis who has achieved the Satyaloka at the end of their life. So what happens is these yogis and the people who have done a lot of pious activities, they go to this Brahmaloka, which is Satyaloka, which is a place where Lord Brahma stays. So now what happens is, first of all, Brahma's life is too big. Anybody knows how much is the life of Brahma as per the human calculation? Nobody knows. Nobody has read Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, first shloka, second shloka. Okay, Rohini Mataji, you want to say?
I guess 4.32 billion years, Prabhu.
Yes, it is 411 trillion or 311.
Billion.
Yeah. Yes. So it is so big. It is 311 or 411. I don't know. It's something like that. So that figure. Thank you, Mataji. So it is such a big life. So if we have spent our whatever, our 100 years or something in the by doing yoga, and we are going there in the Brahma Loka, then we have to wait for 311 trillion years as per our life. And then what happens is that when the Brahma's life ends, that along with Brahma, these people, they will go and enter into the Mahavishnu. So as I was telling that, Brahmas, there are two kind of pralayas, Brahmas at Brahma's night and when the Brahma's life ends. So when the Brahma's life ends, that time only the living entities who are there in Brahmaloka, they go to the Lord Narayana. But there is a condition applied. Let's see. Lord Kapila is talking about that also. So when the Brahma's night, that dissolution happens, at that point of time, they stray, in the sleeping stage. And when the Brahma's life ends, then they go back to this thing. But, the problem in that is that, Brahma gets liberated, but there is no guarantee that these yogis will get liberated also. So Lord Kapila actually explains that, and Prabhupada is writing in purport also. There is a next sloka which talks about this. That, Brahma, first of all, going there to Brahma Loka, we need to do so much austerity. And once we reach there, to get liberation, we have to wait for Brahma to get liberated. And even if Brahma is getting liberated and these living entities, you see, next sloka it is there, I believe. Okay, no. Where is the shloka? Okay, see this shloka, 12 to 15. Lord Kapila is saying even the higher personalities like Lord Brahma, Sanat Kumaras, and Saptarishis like Marichi, they also come back to material world. In what condition? if they are thinking themselves to be independent or equal to Lord, or they are considering Lord Brahma as the Supreme Lord. If due to some reason, assume you are staying 311 trillion years, and in the last year of your life, you start thinking, oh, Brahma is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then gone. Brahma will go, Brahma will get liberated, but you will have to come back again because you will have to again come and take birth in Satyaloka because you thought that Brahma is this thing. So even this kind of liberation is not even available very easily to Sanat Kumaras and rishis, Sat rishis like Marichis, who are the highest living entities as per the material standards. So the point is that we should understand that all these processes, why Lord Kapila is explaining all this, is that even if you go to the highest planet, there is no guarantee that Brahma is not capable of liberating. We know that Hiranyakashipu pastime, we all have seen this now, Mahavatar Narsimha movie, right? I hope everybody has seen. So in that, what is there? The Brahma is telling that okay, he can give you different conditions, but he cannot. He says, I cannot give you liberation because Lord Brahma himself is not liberated. By constant devotional service to Lord Narayana, he gets, mukti. So now what, after talking about, Sakam Karmis and Nishkam Karm Yogis, now Lord Kapila is saying that you don't follow my mother, Devahuti, dear mother, don't follow this devotional service process, indirect process. Take directly, surrender directly to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means most intelligent thing is what? To do direct devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada very nicely explains the meaning of oneness in context of Mayavadis and Vaishnava philosophers. So what Mayavadis philosophers they want to do is they want to go and merge into the Lord. While Vaishnavas, they don't want to lose their identity because the basis of their identity is service. So in any of the mood, like lover, parent, friend, servant, any form, what they want to do is they want to do the always engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They don't want to, a stagnant Brahman realization where you do go and just merge into the Brahman. That does not interest, so that does not interest devotee. So this famous hunter and rabbit story is there, which is, comes when Ramanujacharya's disciple, I think it was Parashar Muni. Once Parashar Muni was going in the jungle along with his disciples. So he saw that one hunter is chasing a rabbit, and that rabbit is trying to run here, there, and hunter is behind, and he's running for his life, and he's seeing the death in front of his. Then immediately what he does, a very dramatic incident happens, that this rabbit turns towards the hunter and goes and wraps himself around the feet of hunter. And when hunter sees that rabbit is getting wrapped around his feet, immediately hunter picks the rabbit and starts, lovingly starts patting the rabbit. And as soon as Parashar Muni sees this, he faints. So his disciples, they become amazed at what is happening, and they try to put some water on his face and all those. And that point of time, when Parashar Muni comes into senses, he starts crying, and then his disciples, they wonder what is happening. They later, when he calms down, they ask their spiritual master that, spiritual master, please tell us that what made you faint, and he says that such a lower species of life, a rabbit, even a rabbit knows that if I surrender to the person on whose mercy my life is, that person will give me the love, lovingly, he will take care of me. And I being such a intelligent, so-called intelligent human form of life, how come I still have not understood that if I surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord will take care of me? So Devi Esha Gunumai Mama Maya Duratya Mameva ye Prapadyante Paya Maya Metam Tarantite. So a person who is, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that it's very difficult to overcome Maya. Mama Maya Duratya. And he uses the Mam Maya. My Maya, it is very difficult to overcome. Mameva ye Prapadyante. A person who has surrendered to me, like this rabbit, Maya etam tarantite. We can overcome Maya very easily. So very striking, statement Lord Kapila is making. This section I have already explained that even if Sanat Kumaras and Brahma himself and this thing, they are not liberated, even if they attain the it is mentioned as first incarnation of Purusha, means Mahavishnu. When all the universities, they go into the womb of Mahavishnu, again we may have to come back to this thing, material world. So even the highest position is not safe until we have our consciousness very pure, where we understand that supreme personality of Godhead is the ultimately supreme, and my constitutional position is to being the servant of the Jivera Swarupa Hoye Krishnera Nityadas. If we don't have understanding, even if we have read hundreds of scriptures, then that is of no use. We will become like, go back to maybe to Satyaloka and we will come back again. So it's not a very this thing. After talking about bhakti a little bit again, our Lord Kapila is hitting hard for Sakama karmis. And we have seen in previous chapters, how Lord Kapila has criticized, people who are addicted to material form of life. So, these people who are addicted to material world execute their prescribed duties, with the great. Many times we hear this statement, being a devotees, we often hear this lecture from our relatives and friends that this is we don't need to do bhakti to this level. We can do bhakti. We should go temple every once a week. Many times in preaching programs we face this problem. Whenever we want to call somebody and they will say, Prabhu, we can't come on Sunday to temple because we eat non-veg. Means they have that understanding that eating a non-veg is not something with which they can go and face the Lord, but still they are not able to control their senses. So that is so in one of the program like this happened, that person told me, then I told Prabhu, if you are aware of really that it's so bad, then why you are still eating it? And then he laughed, Prabhu, I can't control it. I need it. So on Saturday, I'm not eating because it's a Balaji day. So on Sunday, I need it because Saturday, one day, I've not eaten it. Like that, people have understanding. So such people, Lord Kapila says that Trai Vargika. So that means Trai Vargika means they are doing Dharma, Artha, Kama, but they are not aware, they are not interested in moksha. They are not thinking about that. Ultimately, goal of dharma, artha, kama should be to achieve moksha. That's the ultimate thing. But problem is that everybody gets stuck there. People who are doing dharma to earn money and earn money to fulfill your material desires. Ultimately, you should get tired of your material desires and think about liberation. But there is rarely any person who thinks like that. Everybody is interested in enjoying in this material, but that is a problem with this whole process of three vargika. So dharma, artha, kama, we just get stuck there. We don't, move further. And in this shloka, there is important word used is vimukha hari medasa. So these kind of people, although they are doing religious activities, but they are hari, vimukha hari. They are vimukha to hari. They are away from this thing. They have turned their face from the Lord Hari, and that becomes the cause of their material bondage. And the Lord, this thing is comparing such people who are enjoying their material, busy in material enjoyment. Lord Kapila is comparing them to a hog. And Prabhupada writes that if you give a nice preparation like milk and ghee, that the pig will still like to eat stool only. That becomes the conditioning in this material world. It's very difficult to So even if by doing religious activities, these people may go to Pitriloka or even to Satyaloka by doing big austerities. But again, Lord Kapila is saying they come back to this material world once their pious activities are exhausted. So they have to come back, So it all happens is again, Shane Punya Mrityalokam Vishanti. So they have to come back to this material world again. Even if you enjoy heavenly planets, it is something like, Yamraj, after this, he is asking, would you like to take this thing? You would like to go to Narakloka first or Swarga? So he is okay, you take me to Swargaloka. Let me enjoy first. But ultimately, the, sufferings are waiting for us again, because again, we'll come back to this, material world. Mami upetya tu kaunteya punarjanma vidyate. But anybody who attains my abode never comes back to me. So, Srila Prabhupada very nicely in purports, his every purport, although it is Lord Kapila is criticizing material life, enjoyment and all that, Prabhupada nicely he's explaining, okay, Mamu Pitya tu kaunteya punarjanma. You come to me, you don't have to take birth again. So further, Lord Kapila is, he tells his mother again that you take shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead, as his lotus feet are worth worshipping, accept all devotion, accept this with all devotion and love. For this, you can be situated in transcendental loving devotional service. So, what this thing Lord Kapila is saying, Parameshti, the Supreme Personality, with what was Sarva Bhavina, with all bhava. So we know in the 8th state, Ado Shraddha Sadhu Sangha Bhajan Kiya, in that the bhava is considered as the preliminary stage of attainment of the pure love of God. So last stage is prema. So, with these full, what is a conviction, he's telling his mother that you should do the bhakti and tad guna ashraya. So, what he's saying is that you should take ashraya of what? The transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord. So, a person who has developed the taste of hearing Krishna Katha, hearing the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord, hearing the transcendental pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead, that person does not get deviated to anything else. Prabhupada is writing in purport. Such a person is very, very focused in his bhakti, and, param drishtva nivartate. So a person who develops higher taste, then it's very difficult for such a person to go to the lower taste of material this thing. Then comes this shloka Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhagavat Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janyati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Yad Brahma Darshanam. This is a repetition. It is something like we have in Bhagavad Gita, the shloka, Man manava mad bhakto madhya jivam namushkuru. So this shloka is there in Bhagavad Gita 2 times. So this shloka, which is there in 23rd shloka of this chapter, is actually a replica of, except the last 2 words. This shloka is replica of famous shloka which is there in first canto, 2nd chapter. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janyati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahetukam. So what happens is when a person is doing a bhakti to Lord, Supreme Lord, then what happens is Jnana and Vairagya, they automatically come along with the bhakti. We don't have to develop exclusively for, work for getting, acquiring knowledge and detachment. And, the famous example of this is when we read the Srimad Bhagavatam Mahatamya. So in that, the story comes is that Bhakti Devi, she is traveling from south and she goes from Vidarbha and then to Saurashtra, and finally she reaches, by the time she becomes old and she reaches, Vrindavan. And there is mentioned that Bhakti Devi has 2 sons, Gyan and Vairagya. So when Bhakti Devi enters into Vrindavan, the Bhakti becomes young again. But Gyan and Vairagya don't become automatically young. Then what happens is Narad Muni comes there, and Narad Muni tells, I'm telling the story in short, it's a long story, but Narad Muni tells Srimad Bhagavatam to Bhakti Devi, and Gyan and Vairagya again become young. So what do we understand from this is that, when we do bhakti to Supreme Lord, automatically Gyan and Vairagya, they come. We don't have to explicitly, put effort to get detached from the renunciation is automatically it's a side product of bhakti, because param drishtva nivartate, because we are giving the higher taste, lower taste automatically goes off. So this taste in this material enjoyment, in this material world, whatever our attachments are, these attachments are actually lower taste as per the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this lower taste, we automatically it goes off, and ultimately what happens is Brahma Darshana. So what happens is a person who is doing unmotivated or uninterrupted bhakti to Supreme Lord, then Gyan and Vairagya they develop, and because of that, what happens is Brahma Darshan. A person gets the darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is not the Brahman, which Brahman realization, which is the impersonal realization. Here it is talked about the worshipping the personal form of the Lord. Then Lord Kapila is entering into some of the qualities of a pure devotee. That once a person achieves the pure devotional service, then he becomes equiposed, and he is transcendental to good and bad, superior, inferior. So he is not affected by superior and inferior. Like we see Shukdev Goswami, right? He came out of the womb of his mother, and without after 16 years, and he starts walking without covering himself. He just goes. So a pure, a person in pure consciousness is not, is not affected by the inequalities of this person, and he by his transcendental intelligence, a person like this, he seems himself uncontaminated by matter. So in terms of bhakti, by he does not get connected with the, although he may be staying in this material world, he may be using these things of this material world, but such a person is not contaminated by the effects of this material world. And he is transcendent, he is elevated to the transcendental form, whereby qualitatively he becomes one with the Lord. So now Lord Kapila further, he talks about that although the different paths are there, but the goal of everything is one only. So Supreme Personality of Godhead alone is the complete transcendental knowledge, but according to different process of understanding, he appears differently either as impersonal Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So we know this famous sloka from Bhagavad, second chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yat jnanam advayam Brahmeti Paramateti Bhagavaniti Shabdyate. So absolute truth can be realized in three ways: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So Brahman is impersonal realization, Paramatma is absolute truth within the heart of all living entities, and Bhagavan is the personal realization where a person is able to establish the relationship with Supreme Lord. But Srimad Bhagavatam very clearly, and even in Bhagavad Gita, it is being told by Lord Krishna that all two types of realization, Brahman and Paramatma, are automatically covered when a person gets the Bhagavan realization, where he is personally able to serve the Lord automatically. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am the source of Brahman, and I am seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. So when we become the servant of the Lord, when we establish relationship with Supreme Lord, then automatically Brahman and Bhagavan realization is there. So Lord Kapila is trying to say here is that you don't need to go for the other kind of realizations. Directly target. That's what he told his mother. Directly do bhakti. Don't need to do do need to go into different paths, and ultimately everything is reaching there. But it's a longer path. Prabhupada say, why to go through stairs when we already have the elevator available? So we just go up straight. The bhakti is going using the lift, straight go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, but then again, now Lord Kapila is telling that some of the things which are common in all paths is, one of the things is complete detachment from the weather, from the matter. So whether you are doing Jnana Yoga, you are doing following Jnana Yoga, or you are doing following Dhyan Yoga, or you are doing karma yoga also, the ultimately thing what we have to do is we have to detach ourselves from the material listing. So irrespective of whatever path we choose, it is very important that we are not attached to the material things. Which material things? Maybe the material opulence as well as our relation, our material this thing. Everything is related to Krishna. Ultimately, Lord Kapila says in 29 shloka that I am the source of everything. I am from the total energy Mahat Tattva. Mahat Tattva, I have manifested false ego, three modes of material nature, five material elements, individual consciousness, 11 senses, material body. So Lord Kapila, we have read all this that, there are 24 elements of, material creation. So Lord Kapila here is saying is that, everything is originating from me. So it is ultimately the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the source of everything. So what we are trying to do through dhyan and jnana is automatically achieved when a person understands, that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bahunam janma namante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Even after bahunam janma namante, after many, many births, a person is able to understand that Vasudev, Lord Krishna, is the source of everything. So Lord Kapila here is establishing himself as the source of everything, like Bhagavad Gita 10.8, which says, Aham sarvasya prabhu matta sarva pravartade iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvita. I am the source of all material and spiritual creation. And 7.7, which says, matta paratram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. There is no truth beyond me. So we see that there is a link between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam here. And but now after going, even if you are going that from different path, you are Gyan Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, any process you are following, ultimately a person has to come at the platform of devotional service only to understand me. So Lord Kapila here is saying is that even if you are using various paths, ultimately unless a person, that's what Bahunam Janmanamante Yanvan Mam Prapadyante Vasudeva Sarva. If we have not understood that Vasudeva is the source of everything, Lord Krishna is the source of everything, then it is very difficult for us to achieve that, achieve the perfection. So Prabhupada has written a very long purport here where he is mentioning that, a knowledge is revealed with the faith on Guru Sadhu Shastra. So Guru Sadhu Shastra, with the help of that, we can acquire knowledge. So important aspect of that is to have a bona fide spiritual master in our life and taking the shelter to this thing. Guru Goswami has given this various sanghas of bhakti. In the initial ones, he is talking about the taking shelter at the spiritual master. And Prabhupada, very long purport, he has written this on the glories of spiritual master. So next then, he's saying that I have already explained you various types of path, but ultimately if you want to reach the ultimate destination, that is to reach Supreme Personality of Godhead only. Even if you Maunam Janmanamante, even if you after many births, if you are using the trying to understand through the speculative knowledge or philosophy you are trying to understand, you will only come at the source, come at the knowledge that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, so very nice example in 33rd shloka Lord Kapila gives is that, even if the same object is perceived by the different senses in different ways, ultimately we should know what is the reality, right? For example, Prabhupada is giving an example of cloud and milk in this. For example, from afar, a mountain, maybe what do you say, a hill is covered by the cloud. So from the far, it may look like that it is all cloud, but when you go near, you know that it is a hill which is covered by the cloud. Similarly, it's a milk. When you touch a milk, you feel cold. When you smell a milk, there is an aroma. When you see a milk, you see a white this thing. And when you drink a milk, you get a different taste. All the different senses are perceiving different things, but ultimately it is a milk. Same way, even if you are doing the different processes of self-realization, ultimate thing is that we have to understand that Supreme Personality of Godhead is the source of everything. He is the one who is the ultimate destination is Supreme Present. So it may look that Lord Kapila is beating around the bush, but since he is closing down his instructions with this chapter, he is establishing the fact that, just do bhakti to Supreme Personality of God. So whatever you do now in 34 to 36 shlokas, he's saying whatever you do, it is in line with the shloka from Bhagavad Gita, yat karoshi yat ashnashi yat tujoshi yadashi yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kurushma darpanam. Whatever you do, you should do as an offering to Krishna. And Lord Kapila is talking about various things, like he's saying Vedic study and discussions. So he's saying that whatever social order you are, brahmachari, grahastha, vanprastha, sannyas, whatever activities you are doing, you should do it in connection with the Supreme Lord to achieve the highest perfections. And there, in purport, Prabhupada is all these things, whatever Lord Kapila is saying, Prabhupada is saying which is prescribed for which social order. For example, Vedic study and discussion is recommended for brahmacharis. Pious activities, charity and sacrifices prescribed for grastas. Austerities is prescribed for vanprasthas. Control of senses and renunciation is prescribed for sannyasis. And apart from that, even if you are doing yoga practice, sakam bhakti, nishkam bhakti, or you're trying to do the analytical study of, Sankhya yoga, if you are following, you are studying the nature of Atma, then renunciation, detachment. Lord Kapila is saying, do it. Everything should be done as an offering to Supreme Lord. So there is no use if you are doing any of these activities without Krishna not being in center of your activities. Then, as Bhagavatam says, Shrama evahi kevalam. They will become only the physical level. They will not have any this thing. So this is in line with shloka, yat karoshi yat ashnashi yat dujoshi dadasi yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kurushma darpan. So we have to offer everything to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now Lord Kapila is saying, anyway, I have explained you everything. And at last, he is giving the qualification to receive this knowledge and what is the benefit of this knowledge, whatever Lord Kapila has told across the various chapters. So one of the things he has told is this instruction is not meant for envious people, for the agnostic and the people who are unclean in their behavior, nor for the hypocrites and person who are proud of their material possession. This instruction should not be given to the greedy people, attached to those who are attached to family life, to the persons who are non-devotees and who are envious to devotees and of personality of God. So you can understand, with this that if we have any of these qualities, then by default we become unqualified to get this spiritual knowledge. Unqualified in the sense that even if this knowledge, even if my spiritual master is coming and giving me this knowledge, I will not be able to receive it. So very important, very instruction. This is in line again with Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna also tells that, a person who is envious will never be able to understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. So one thing for devotees, one lesson for all of us is that, we should not be envious. We should not be unclean in our behavior. He's not talked about the external cleanliness. It is the cleanliness in our behavior. We should not be hypocrite in our behavior with devotees, specifically. See, what happens is when we are coming in bhakti and we are there, we are in that spiritual path for some time, then our interaction, our community is only devotees. So what happens is whatever our conditioning which was there outside, we continue with that in our material, in our spiritual life also. And for example, it's mentioned we should not be too greedy and attached to. So what happens is when sometimes we are doing preaching, so what happens is we get puja, la, pratishtha. So, we get a lot of, respect and a lot of, so we become addicted to that. But we should remember that preaching or whatever activities, whatever seva we are doing, sometimes we are very good in doing cooking for the Lord, very good in kirtan. So what happens is that, we start thinking, oh, now I'm a great person, and people come and appreciate us because, they genuinely want to appreciate our good qualities. But we forget that there is behind Guru and Krishna who is empowering me. We just start thinking, oh, I'm doing this. And that becomes the reason of our fall down. So many times people say, oh, how can a person fall down? Maybe they will not fall down because of bhakti, but what are the side products of bhakti which are there? That is the subtle arrows of Maya, which Maya applies on us. We may have detached from our material desires, but with the desires which sugarcoat, we sugarcoat our desires in the spiritual world, and we get carried away by that. So we should be very, very careful when we are, making progress in bhakti. So ultimately, this is instruction should be, given to the faithful people who are respectful to Supreme Lord and to the spiritual master, and without being so. Couple of shlokas, at least 5, 6 shloka, Lord Kapila is giving that who is the qualified to get this bhakti. So indirectly, he's saying that if we have to get bhakti, we have to get rid of all these, anarthas. And at the last, he says that anybody is a Shruti Phala, which means if you meditate on the teachings of Lord Kapila and hears and reads and chants, and that for that person, surely he will go back to Godhead. So summary of this chapter is that although there are various paths, but ultimate path which will take us to, supreme destination is only and only the bhakti to Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. So with this chapter ends, and there are, so ultimately it is literally towards the end of next chapter is also talks about Devahuti, Mother Devahuti, Kapila Muni, and all that. But I think there is, except a couple of shlokas, there is no further instruction in next chapter. So with this chapter, literally, we have come to the end of Lord Kapila's teachings, glorifying the devotional service in a very, very methodical way. Lord Kapila has done across the chapters by comparing it with various parts of, self-realization, and establishing bhakti as the supreme path of self-realization. Sorry, I still took a little longer time, but with that, maybe I will end. I hope we are able to understand the importance of bhakti through this whole teachings of Lord Kapila. Anybody has any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dhanvas.
Thank you Prabhuji, it was a very nice class. Prabhu, I have a small doubt about the position of Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma is the pure devotee, but still we see that he's not, he's under, again, he's not liberated. So how can we understand that, Prabhuji? That is a little confusion for me.
Either you are Brahma, or you are, even if you, even it is mentioned as, Sanat Kumar has, Saptarishis, any stage of life, if we are thinking ourselves to be independent of Lord Krishna, or we start thinking ourselves, I am the Supreme Lord, I am equal to the Lord. So at that stage, we will fall down. So in this material world, the problem in this material world is that any time that kind of feeling can come with us. I was giving example, even a pure devotee, we know the example of Bharat Maharaj. Even reaching as the bhava stage of bhava, he has gone. He has left all the material opulences. He left a big kingdom, beautiful wives, children, everything. And Bhagavatam says, as a person doing after a stool, he leaves. Like that, Bharat Maharaj left. And ultimately, what happens? He got attached to this thing. He started thinking that I am the only one who will take care of this child, or dear this thing. So this material world is a little dangerous place. Even the demigods, even the Brahma, we see in Brahma Vimohan Leela how Lord Brahma gets bewildered seeing Krishna enjoying with the Gopas. Of course, for these elevated souls, generally they are part of Lord's leelas, and they understand. Krishna uses them to make the general populace understand this. That how a person, they are generally they are not contaminated by this thing. They are generally the part of leela of the Lord. Understand. So लेकिन ठीक है, yes, in this material world we can fall down. Padam padam yat vibdam nadesham. Any place it is there possible that we can fall down. But anybody who is at pure devotional platform, that's why time and again Prabhupada compares, with Haridas Thakur, like, other devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even in today's context, with Dhruva, Prahlad, pure devotees, if you observe, they don't get affected by the this thing, and they are, and that's what Srimad Bhagavatam is trying to establish them as example of perfect example of how we can remain unaffected by it. Only way to possible is pure devotional service. So devatas sometimes, they are sakam bhaktas. They are not sakam karmis. They are sakam bhaktas. In the sense, they may sometimes get carried away by the material. But from our standpoint, I always believe that we should treat all of them as example used by the Lord for our teachings. We should not think, oh, Brahma भी गिर गए तो अब हमारा क्या होगा, हम तो चलिए छोड़ो भक्ति. इंद्रा गिर गया, हमारा क्या होगा, हम तो, ऐसा नहीं है. We have a lot of examples of Dhruv, Prahlad, Amrish Maharaj, Vritasura, they have showed the higher standard of, bhakti. So I think even if we are thinking about Brahma, Indra, Varuna, and, for us, yes, they are pure devotees and being used by the Lord in their. At this level, it is very difficult to understand how can a person at such a highest level can fall down. Maybe once we reach that level, we'll know that what the problem we face. But yes,
But this annihilation happens, when this Lord Brahma's life is over. The two annihilation you spoke about, no, one at the one day of Brahma is over, and when the life of Brahma is over, then what happened after that, Prabhuji?
they will, when the Lord will again take the universe. So when Brahma's life ends, then all the universe, they go and enter into Mahavishnu. And when the Lord exhales, all of them come out, and it is mentioned in the one of the shloka that they start from there where they have left. Even Sanat Kumara's Marichi and all those rishis, they start from there where they have left. So all the jivas, whatever stages of their life they are, they will start their life from there. That's what is mentioned in this one of the shloka in this chapter, and even Prabhupada in purport he has mentioned the same thing.
So, Prabhu, there is a scope for Brahma also to get pure bhakti, but if not, then again he has to come back in the position where he is.
Correct.
That's right, Prabhuji?
Generally, there is, there is no, generally Brahma. See, that's what is mentioned in this chapter, that the Kapil Muni is saying that Brahma may get liberated, but those who are staying along with Brahma in Satyaloka, they are not guaranteed.
Yes, Prabhuji. Brahma is having a full belief that now who is the supreme personality of God, but under him, those who are considering Brahma as the supreme, they are not in the right mood, so they will not.
They will
So,
not.
but, yeah, okay, Prabhuji.
They will come back to Satyaloka.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the wonderful class. Yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, my first doubt is that the one pralaya happens when Lord Brahma's day ends, right?
Yes, night.
So, Prabhu, and one happens then and one happens when the night ends, right? So there are two, that means.
Right. Actually, Bhagavatam at different place in this, not here, but in other places, that there pralaya is happening every moment actually. Whatever the pralaya means, what? Dissolution, right? So in this material also, that word also, we see the dissolution, right, of the material things. They keep deteriorating, right? Material things keep deteriorating. So there are various kind of pralayas actually. In other places, I'm not able to recall exactly, but Prabhupada has explained actually 4 and 5 kinds of pralayas. Actually, one pralaya, which is the Nitya pralaya, which is happening daily, changes what is happening. Then another pralaya happens is when the Chatur Yuga ends. So one cycle of Chatur Yuga ends, then one kind of pralaya happens, and that will happen to that particular universe only. Then then another kind of pralaya will happen when the Lord Brahma sleeps. So that will happen is all the planets lower than the Brahma, which is Satyaloka, they all get wrapped up. Wrapped up in the sense they will get in the sleep mode. And when Brahma's life ends, that time pralaya happens is then everything goes and enter into the womb of Mahavishnu. So there are four. I think there is one more, 5 types of pralaya. I'm not able to recall. Yeah, there are various kind of pralayas explained in scriptures at different places. Sorry, what was the question then?
Yes, Prabhu. So this was only my question, Prabhu. So, but when the pralaya is happening, Lord Vishnu inhales, right?
Right. That is happens when Brahma's life ends.
Oh, that is only Mahapralaya. That is
Yes.
only the.
Only when
Okay,
the Brahma's life ends.
okay, Prabhu. But Prabhu, we have seen that for every universe there are different Brahmas, right? So all Brahma's life ends together, or
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I believe so.
I think the answer for that is like in the Mahavishnu's body. So the Brahmandas are emanating from the pores of his skin. So the nearest Brahmanda, when he inhales, when it goes into the body, pores of the skin of Mahavishnu, that would get destroyed. And maybe the other Brahmanda, which is far, it will take some more time to get destroyed. So that's the answer to that.
yes, Prabhu, it makes sense. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I know too much to too many things. Too many ifs and buts are there in these things. But maybe one day when we enter into the womb of Mahavishnu, I will receive that and realize, okay, what exactly happens. Any other question or comments? It's already 7:33. So I thought I will talk about Balram Jayanti. Today is auspicious day of Balram Ji, but I don't want to extend it too long. So in just one statement, which I always remember on Balram Jayanti, somebody asked Srila Prabhupada difference between Balram and Lord Krishna. So then Lord says that, oh sorry, Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna is white Balram and Balram is black Krishna. So since we are talking about the creation and all that, so Lord Balram is the first expansion of Lord Krishna. So Krishna expands himself into Balram. So Balram is the expansion of Lord only to fulfill the desire to create this material world. So in real sense, he is the original personality of God. A few days back, we were reading in our Krishna book night. So there, Lord Balram is referred as supreme personality of Godhead. So I think it was Arup Prabhu who asked, how come Balram is referred as supreme personality of God? It's because ultimately Sarv Karan Karanam is Lord Krishna. So the thing is that because Lord Balram is the expansion of the desire of the Lord to, have this material world. So in that sense, original creator Balram will come because Balram expands himself into Chatur four form, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Vasudev. So from the Sankarshan, second quadruple comes out, which is again Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vasudev. And from Sankarshan, which is again the form of Balram, Mahavishnu origin comes out. And from Mahavishnu, as we were discussing, all the creation happens through Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu expands himself into Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expands himself into Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. From Mahavishnu, various universes come, and Garbhodakshaya, each universe, Garbhodakshaya, the Brahma comes out, and Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they take care of each particular. So in that sense, if you see if you go back, ultimately Balramji is the original source of creation. And also Balram is considered as the Adi Guru. From him all the knowledge comes. So he is also considered as the representation of the spiritual master. So Lord Balram, he is the none other than Sankarshan, So he, in various avatars, Lord comes along with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Ram Leela, Lord Balramji comes as Lakshman. In Gaur Leela, Lord Balram comes as Nityananda. And in the form of spiritual master, he is Lord Balram guides each and every living entity because he is the bala or the spiritual strength with which a person can make spiritual progress. So you may have the material strength, but material strength is not going to help us to come out of this material cycle of birth and death. So if we really want to make spiritual progress, then it is ultimately the sanction of Lord Balramji. In the form of Guru, he comes and he guides us in our spiritual progress. So on this auspicious day, we should pray to Lord Balram to give it the spiritual strength with which we can develop that pure devotional service which we have been discussing for last 1 hour. Lord Kapila is instructing us to develop that, that pure devotional service, pure love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is only possible if we have the mercy of Lord Balram. So Lord Balramji in various leelas, he has supported, Lord as Lakshman or Nityananda or Sankarshan as in the form of Lord Narayana. He is there in the form of Sheshanag, the bed on which Lord Narayana rests. Lord Balramji is, since we know the Leela when Krishna, the Kamsa puts Devaki and Vasudev into the prison. All the 6 children of Devaki were killed by Kamsa. Then, when the 7th times Mother Devaki conceives, as per the instruction of Lord Krishna, the Yogamaya transfers this conception into the womb of Mother Rohini. Mother Rohini is another wife of Vasudeva and who is staying with Nand Baba. So that way, Balramji get transferred from, Mother Devaki to Mother Rohini. That's why his name is Rohini Nandan as well. But he is still equally lovable by Mother Devaki, equally lovable by Mother Yashoda, equally loved by Mother Rohini. So that way he is, is special because he gets the mercy of so many mothers. And he also acts as mother whenever there are various leelas where he is always there to protect Krishna. So Lord Balramji actually participate in Krishna Leela in all the bhavas. For example, Shantaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras, Sakyaras and Madhuryaras. So Lord Balram is the only one who participates in all the leelas in various rasas. For example, in Shant Rasa, he is the all the paraphernalia, all the Vrindavan dham, and even which we use our paraphernalia like mridanga, kartale. Those who learn mridanga, they must be knowing that whenever we learn mridanga, we pray to Lord Balramji because he is considered as the paraphernalia. All the altar of the Lord, everything is considered as the paraphernalia. All the paraphernalia is considered as the expansion of Lord Balramji. Because Balram is the Lord in the Seva Bhav. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, who is the Savior, means to whom the Seva has to be offered. And Balramji is the Supreme Lord in the Seva Bhav, in the Sevak, as a Sevak. So he is a servitor God, Krishna, Srila Prabhupada say. He is the servitor God. So in the sense, he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he is in the mood of service. So that's why for Gaudiya Vaishnavas who are looking for the service, loving devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for them Lord Balramji is very important to personality to pray to. So he is then, in Shantarasa, he is the all the Vrindavan Dham and all the this thing. In Shantarasa, then what is this? Next rasa is Vatsalya Rasa. As Vatsalya Rasa, he is the, he takes care of Krishna whenever he is in difficulty. is there. In Dasiras is actually, in some places, it's mentioned that Lord Balramji even presses the feet of Lord Krishna when he is tired. So as a Dasya Rasa, he serves a lot. As a Vatsalya Rasa, I already told, and Sakya Rasa means he participates in all the games of as a Sakha. We know this famous pastime of killing of Pralambasura. So Pralambasura, he comes as a cowherd boy, and he is, he becomes, a cowherd boy, and then, Balramji kills Pralambasura. Another Asura which Lord Balramji killed is Dhenukasura as a demon. So Lord has killed only two demons in the whole Leela. Rest all is killed by Lord Krishna, all the demons. And so which is then Dasya, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vasalya, and Madhurya. In Madhurya, Gaudiya Vaishnava's Acharya says that Lord expends himself into Ananda Manjari. So as he becomes one of the Manjari, and he participates in the Rasa Leela along with the Lord Krishna in the form of a gopi. So like that, Lord Balramji, he is participates in Krishna Leela in various rasas. Lord Balramji has also some of the other Leelas which we can think of is we were reading few days back in our Krishna book reading was the Samba, who is the son of Krishna. He is getting married to the son of Duryodhana. I forgot the name of the girl. So what happens is that he
Prabhuji, Lakshmana.
Lakshmana. Yes. So Samba goes to Hastinapur and he tries to abduct Lakshmana, and that time Kauravas they capture him. And when Lord Balramji comes to know this, then he goes to Hastinapur and he camps outside Hastinapur. And all the Kauravas, like even Duryodhana and all that, they come and they worship Lord Balramji. But when Lord Balram says you return back Samba, actually they capture Samba, and then Samba. So they say no, and then Lord Balram becomes angry, and he with his plow he starts dragging Hastinapur into into Mother Ganga. So then all the Kauravas they get scared and they realize that they are doing a mistake by, and they very amicably they marry Samba and Lakshmana. So that pastime is there. There is another pastime where Lord Balramji gets angry with Mother Yamuna. River Yamuna when he's doing Ras Leela with the. By the way, Balramji also does Ras Leela with different set of gopis. So during that time when he orders Mother Yamuna to come nearby where he was doing Ras Leela, and Mother Yamuna ignores, and then with the plows he pulls Mother Yamuna. And Yamuna, because of that, it is said that Yamuna is divided into various sections. And then Mother River Yamuna, she comes personified form. She comes and she offered prayers to Balramji. That is also one of the section in Bhagavatam. So Lord Balramji is, basically, if we see tattva wise, Lord Balramji is responsible for purifying the place where Lord Krishna has to enter. As we see in the womb of Mother Devaki, he comes first, he clarifies the womb because before this Balramji, the six children which were born, they were actually the son of Kala Nemi in the previous birth, and they were cursed, I think, by Hiranyakashipu, if I remember properly, to become demons and to come to this material world. So since the demons have come to the womb of Mother Devaki, Balramji comes and cleans it, and then Krishna comes. Similar way, because these six demons, which Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya, these are anarthas, which are there in our hearts, there is no place for Krishna to come and sit because of these anartha. But by the mercy of Lord Balramji, we can basically, Balramji is the expansion or representation of Guru Tattva. So ultimately, by surrendering to the spiritual master, who is a representation of Supreme Lord, we can purify our heart by sincerely following the instructions of our spiritual master. In our case, those instructions are very simple: chanting 16 rounds of 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, following 4 regulative principles. That is the commitment we have given to our spiritual master. And Srila Prabhupada, time and again, he instructs us to follow these things. And by just following those instructions of our spiritual master, we get the mercy of Balramji, and by the mercy of Lord Balram, we get purified. And in the purified heart, there is a chance that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, will enter. So on this day, auspicious day, we should pray to Balramji to purify our heart from all these anarthas, so that we can develop the pure love for Supreme Personality of God and Shri Krishna. Okay, so Lord Balram ki jai, Supreme Personality of God, Lord Shri Krishna ki jai. So now Lord Balramji today is allowing us or telling us that for next 7 days, let's immerse ourselves into the thoughts of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, who is going to appear very soon, within a week. So, let's develop our right mood of service, so that many of us are celebrating Janmashtami in various locations. So let's, immerse ourselves into the, service mood of service which Balramji shows to Lord Krishna, and welcome Lord Krishna with pure hearts. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, बलराम जयंती महामहोत्सव की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।